Hey friends, welcome to another episode of Wedding Sushi, where we take fresh ideas, tips and tricks on planning, and roll them up into bite-sized episodes. Today in the studio, I have Julie Swaney, owner of LimeLight Events. Hey Julie.
Hi Dory, how are you today?
I'm good, how are you?
Doing great, loving the sunshine today.
Yes, and I'm loving your lime green top.
Thank you.
Perfect. So a little bit about Julie. She worked in property management for over 20 years. And that is where she started her foundation on exceptional customer service. During that time, she worked at several different properties, but they all had the same theme. The residents come first.
Yes.
It is all about their comfort and satisfaction. And so that translated very well into working with engaged couples. But again, going back to that property management time, Julie had the pleasure of planning a lot of special events for the residents, as well as appreciation days for their team members. So after 20 years of doing the same thing, Julie decided, hey, you know what? I'm finding this new passion for event planning, and I think I want to sidestep into that career path. So tell me about, from there, you opened up your first event space.
We did, right down the street here in St. Charles, and always had a love and passion for St. Charles and St. Charles's history, so I thought it'd be a great place to open. We just opened with a very small space, 1,000 square feet. Wanted to focus on petite events, things like micro weddings and showers and milestone birthdays, things like that. So that's how we got our start, and luckily from day one, things were busy. There was obviously a need for smaller venues that really had an intimate ambiance and feel, and so we opened to crowds. It's been a really good ride.
Yeah. So booked solid every weekend for the first couple of years that you were in business, and then COVID. So tell me about how that affected you guys, and then how that kind of helped you transition.
Sure. Well, of course, 6 years in, almost at that point, we wanted to do everything we could to preserve our business. So in the end, that meant moving and finding better rent structure for us. So we did, and we actually found beautiful spaces in St. Peter's and also in Ellisville. By the end of our term in St. Charles, I had actually expanded to 2 event rooms. So I had 2 full rooms to move. Good thing during COVID is that landlords were very negotiable on rents and very eager for your business. So was able to really come up with a good plan for St. Peter's and for West County and Ellisville, which is where we had wanted to expand to for a while. So that's where our 2 locations are now.
I love it. Yeah, and you're absolutely correct. We really don't have many venues in St. Louis that can feel comfortable for a smaller group of people instead of being in a huge space where they're getting swallowed up.
Exactly.
So with your St. Peter's location, what is your guest capacity?
We can hold up to 50 people there.
Okay. Seated?
Seated, yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And then Ellisville location?
Almost the same. It's slightly smaller. We can do 42 people seated there in Ellisville.
Okay. Cool.
Oh.
Well, Julie is going to teach us today her top 6 ways that you can make your wedding day unique to you. So start us off. Number 1, what is the first step that we can do into making that wedding day unique?
Well, most people start off with a checklist, maybe putting a binder together. That's all great, keeps you very organized. I would start with something really visual. You want to get the feel and the overall ambiance of how you want your wedding to be. So mood board is a perfect way to start. Get a poster, go to the dollar store, grab a bunch of these wonderful bride magazines, and go to town. Just cut out pictures of what you picture for your special wedding day. Your theme, your colors, are we going really traditional? Are we going country? Are we going, old school? All those overall kind of themes to kind of get you in the mood, get you started in the right direction.
Okay. and that'll help keep everything cohesive.
Exactly.
You told me about a couple that did a golf theme.
Yes.
Tell me more about that so that our couples can see this or hear about it.
They were huge golfers, so everything around the wedding was about golf. All the cute, kitschy little golf terms. I'm not a golfer, so they're escaping me at the moment, but it was really super cute. The centerpieces were darling, so simple, had golf balls in them, some of the green turf at the bottom. So yeah, it just really was very fun. And of course, you can think about so many things with golf, from the clothing and the attire, just, you know, to the drinks. Like, it gives you a really good picture of the fun, you know, vibrant couple that they were.
Cute. So number 1, get your vision board and figure out what your theme is going to be. What's number 2?
Next, music, of course. Big thing, music, right? with Allegro. So I love music too, and I think this is where you can really have a lot of fun. Work with your DJ if you're having a live band, whoever's in charge of the band. They're going to have a playlist. They're going to have some great ideas about what to play. They're going to have great dinner music planned and more dance music. But here's where you can really just get creative. You can, you know, definitely infuse some of your favorite songs. My husband loves country, so there was some country in our wedding. So think about that. Think about your favorite songs. What songs make you feel really good? Maybe some romantic songs. But definitely get involved. Even if you don't think you're much of a music person, I think everybody has those songs in them that really make them feel good, special, that are gonna, you know, it's about you too, most importantly, and you want to really feel like you were a part of that planning. I actually wrote a song for my husband for our wedding reception.
You told me about that.
Yeah.
I love that. That's so cool.
It was about our courtship and how we used to walk together a lot, and that's how we got to know each other. So don't be afraid to try writing a song. Somebody else sang it. I had somebody else sing it and perform it at the wedding, but it was a beautiful memory. We have it on a CD. We listen to it every once in a while on our anniversary. But, you know, just don't be afraid to get in there and mix it up a little bit. Try a TikTok video. Maybe have your theme song. If you do have a theme song, get some friends involved. Have them make a TikTok video. You could play that at the wedding ceremony. I mean, who isn't going to love that? That would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
A good bonding thing for your wedding party.
Absolutely. Learn a choreographed dance together.
Exactly.
Super fun. So we've got theme, making it a vision, like a visionary board, or a vision board. I don't know why that was hard for me to say. Get that theme started. Start thinking about your music. What's number 3?
Well, you know, we spend a lot of money on flowers at our wedding, and flowers are a very big part of it. But there are ways to get creative and infuse those colors into different things. You know, one thing that I don't think people do nearly enough of is floating flowers. We see a lot of floating candles, but floating flowers make an absolutely gorgeous centerpiece, and that's something really memorable and really quite inexpensive, because you're just looking at a few flowers floating in the water versus a huge bouquet on the table. And we've all been at the wedding receptions where we have to go like this. Hi.
Oh, yeah.
Hi over there.
Yeah.
Because they're gorgeous and they're beautiful, but, you know, really big, really overpowering. Maybe some really simple floating flowers would be gorgeous. But one of my favorites is making a wall of flowers. You know, it could be 4 foot by 4 foot, something like that, but just enough for a backdrop. You could have as a backdrop for your wedding ceremony. You could bring it to the wedding reception. That could become your place where people take their pictures.
Yeah. Reuse.
You can reuse.
Yeah,
and
repurpose.
Absolutely. And get all of your colors in there that way. And you could even put a design in there. You could have maybe your new last name begins with a W. You could have a W, you know, in there with the flowers. So
think about that. That's a good one.
Just again, really personalize, and that'll make everything look really cohesive if you have that wall of flowers behind you.
Nice. So we've got theme, we've got utilize different music tastes, we've got be creative with your flowers, talk to your florists. And then what do we have after that?
Well, next we're going to get our Crafty on.
Let's go.
You know, there's so many ways to, there's a lot of DIYers, you know, people that like to do it yourself, make your own centerpieces. This is really unlimited, but we've all had a lot of time over the past year and a half. I've seen people's crafty side come out, and this is, you know, your wedding is a really good place to have that done. You know, think about things like your wedding party gifts. Who doesn't love something embroidered with their name on it? They're going to keep it. They're going to keep it forever. I actually did beach bags with my wedding party's first name on the beach bag, and we've been married 13 years. I still use my beach bag every summer. I use it a lot. So things that people are going to hold on to and remember and make them personalized with embroidery or etching. You know, you could etch on glass, different glassware, things like that. So personalized items like that. And, you know, if you're doing a smaller wedding, like a micro wedding, which are very popular, where you might have 50 guests versus 150, think about having something for each of those guests. I mean, this is an opportunity to do that you wouldn't normally have and wouldn't normally be able to afford. But you know, you could even get crafty. I'm sure you can do this on Google somehow. Google doing your own monogram. But how fun would it be to come up with your new family crest, your new initials in a monogram?
That'd be cool.
And have that on some of your personalized gifts. So again, just getting creative, thinking outside of the box. How can we personalize things with our names or our new family name, and you know, incorporate that into some of your wedding gifts.
I like that. So to recap, we have pick your theme. Make sure that it's cohesive throughout all your events. Number 2, music. Hello, you can be creative with that. Number 3, flowers. Think outside the box and be sure that you repurpose different aspects of floral design. Number 4, get crafty with your gifts and wedding favors. Personalize those to be unique to you. And then what else? What do we have?
Well, desserts. Hello.
Obviously, my favorite.
My favorite too. Yes, desserts are a place to get really fun and really infuse your personality and your favorite treats. You know, kind of gone are the days of just a cake. We've gotten into cake pops and cheesecakes and even pies. I've seen at wedding receptions for those country themes that are very popular. So here's a great place to infuse some of your favorites into a dessert bar. Dessert bars can be beautiful and fancy. How about spreading a little of the dessert bar onto each of the guest tables? People love that. We did that a little bit at our wedding. I'm a huge chocolate person, so I made sure that there was chocolate on every table, and the guests really enjoyed that. And, you know, had a little piece of chocolate here and there, and kind of tied you over till dinner gets started.
Yeah.
Gotta have your dessert first.
Couple bites of chocolate. Little shout out to Karen at Cold Stone Creamery. They do Sunday bars. And then, of course, we've seen donut walls and s'mores.
Yes, very popular. I went to a Wisconsin wedding reception. They had a gelato bar. It was so cute with a cute little cart and little cups that they served it in. And it was very delicious. They gave you samples. It was a lot of fun. Very, you know, more of an experience in dessert. So that was very fun. Hey, we've got the awesome Ted Drews here in St. Louis. So I'm sure they would love to help with wedding reception custard. So again, a great way to bring in your favorites and infuse a little bit more of yourself into your wedding.
Great. Okay, so after desserts, what else do we have?
Well, props for pictures. This is something that I don't think a lot of people think about. You know, our photographers these days are doing more and more with bringing props, things like hats and the boas and the things like that to do like a little selfie station type thing. But we've got some amazing places to actually rent bigger things like furniture.
Yeah.
So think, the sofa on Friends, something along those lines, but maybe find one in pink or green or, whatever your theme color might be. But this is another way to get guests excited, having fun, where they're actually sitting on the props and doing fun poses. And those will make some great pictures and some great memories of your reception. So think bigger on the props, and I think you'll get a lot of bang for your buck with your final pictures in the end.
I like that. That's smart. So kind of making like a little studio setup somewhere in your venue.
Exactly.
Cool. Good people to call for that would be Allison Hirschberger over at Parties and Props, or you can reach out to Cheryl Haney at Aries Co. And then of course, Aaron and Brian over at Exclusive Events.
Absolutely. All great places.
Yeah. Well, these have been fabulous tips on making your wedding uniquely yours. So thank you, Julie Swaney with LimeLight Events, for joining me.
Thank you for having me. Happy planning, everybody.
Yeah. Thank you again for watching us on today's episode of Wedding Sushi. And we'll catch up with you next week when we have a new episode. Until then, happy planning.